glad you're here. I am Elouise East and I am a self-published author. So my tagline is Sweet and Steamy, Connections in Gay Romance. I've decided to do this channel just so you can get to know me a little bit more. You get to see a little bit about my life, my writing, me, possibly my family. I'm sure my daughter will make an appearance at some point because she absolutely loves YouTube and she wants to be a YouTube star. So I don't know whether I can make that happen on this channel, but we can give it a go. So it's going to cover a lot of different topics. It's not just going to be about my writing. It's going to be about the process of writing. It's going to be bits about if there's some books that I've enjoyed, I might do some reviews on those. I might do a day in the life of me. There's no real limitations on the videos that I plan to put on here. And if you decide you want to see something, just comment below and I'll see what I can do about it. So this first video is just a little bit of an introduction. I'm going to talk about me, I'm going to talk about my writing, I'm going to talk about my journey as an author. And I do say a lot of ums, by the way, so please just ignore that. So a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old. I am a single parent to 2 children. I've nicknamed them Ninja, who's 14, and Songbird, who's 7. Now, I use these nicknames in all aspects of my reader and writer life. Yeah, you get to, if you're part of my Facebook group or Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, you'll often, even my newsletter, you'll often see information and stories about them in there. So my journey to becoming a writer was there was nothing exciting that I can really explain about it. So before I even thought about it, I was a beta and an ARC reader for gay romance authors. So there's several authors that I used to beta and ARC read for. And one of those suggested that I try to get out the words that were stuck in my brain. So I'd mentioned to them about writing and how I'd got ideas and how I was already writing at the time, but nothing that will ever be published. But I've been writing for years and it had never even occurred to me to even think about publishing it. I knew nothing about publishing. To me, the only thing I'd ever seen was the idea of authors going from publishing company to publishing company, and most of them not having any luck. And I didn't want that. I didn't like the idea of that. So when they explained to me about self-publishing, I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose really, apart from my time, and I've got plenty of that anyway. So yeah, so I decided to have a go, and I just never believed that anything could happen with it, in all honesty. But yeah, I decided to sit down and pen the story that had been circling in my head for years, and with help from a lot of people in that early stage, I was able to publish my first book. So First Kiss was published in July of 2019. I will say, in hindsight, that they always say hindsight's 2020, and in this case it's completely true. So in hindsight, I wasn't ready to publish at that point. I hadn't got any funds behind me. As I said, I was a single parent. I'd got no funds behind me. I'd got nothing that I could use towards this book, other than the odd £10 here or there. And I just published it. So I wrote it, I edited it as best I could myself, and I put it out there. So I will honestly hold my hands up and say that was not the best version of that book, and I should have waited. But as I said, hindsight's 2020. But anyway, in the first month of First Kiss being released, I sold 39 copies, which I was ecstatic about. 39 copies. Some 39 people had bought my book, which I thought was amazing. And when I first did that book, it was supposed to have been a standalone. I wasn't planning on writing any more to go with it. But as the story came, I started falling in love with the side characters. And so Max came in and everything, and the whole of the series was born, kind of thing. So First Kiss then became the first book in the series, in the Crush series, which again was mind-blowing for me. It's not something I'd ever considered. So the Crush series is based in Cambridge in the UK, so it's a real life city, but a lot of the buildings, a lot of the businesses, a lot of the landscapes is fictional. So if you go there, you it's unlikely you'll find the places that I've detailed. There are the odd places that are real. Gives a bit of authenticity to it. So if you wanted to go and visit those places, you could do. But yeah, for the most part, it's all fictional. There's not really anything for you to go and see. So when I got the idea to continue the series, I started writing the second book. And Instant Desire came out 2 months after First Kiss. That sold 29 copies. Yeah, 29 copies in the first month, which is less than First Kiss, but it's still 29 copies. So I was really happy with that. And then 2 months after that, the third book came out, which was Primary Seduction, and that sold 36 copies in the first month. Now, as far as I'm concerned, they were really good numbers for somebody who had just kind of come onto the scene in the last 4 or 5 months or so. But again, none of those 3 books had been professionally edited, and I think the reviews showed that. But at that point as well, I also I hit what we call burnout, and what had happened is I'd written those 3 books so fast that I was tired, I was exhausted, writing had taken its toll, and I was just, I need a break. And although I did take a break, what I did was I continued to do a little bit of writing. Now, this writing was nothing that will ever be published, but it was just keeping me writing, even though some of it didn't make sense and some of it was just complete nonsense. And yeah, I just wanted to keep myself writing, because I was scared that if I stopped, I wouldn't pick it back up again. And it was all more about getting words down than the actual content of those words. But I actually found my mojo again when I was driving to work one day. So my journey to work is about half an hour. of driving there and back. And at the time, I'd got Callum Scott's, I think it's Only Human, his album. I had it on repeat in my car. I absolutely love it. I still love it now. And there was this one particular song, which I can't remember but if I listened to it, I'd be able to tell you what it was, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. And there's this one song that just started me thinking about a character, and it just snowballed from there. So what I ended up doing was, on the way to and from work, so half an hour each way, so that's like an hour, I would be talking into my phone and recording it and getting my ideas down, how I want the story to go, what the character's feeling, where they are, what's going to happen. Just whatever ideas I had, I would talk it into my phone. And then when I got home that night and the kids were in bed, I'd listen to it and I'd start writing it all down. Some of it was stuff that actually ended up in the books themselves, the book itself. Sometimes it was just little notes that I'd have to expand on later. But yeah, I pretty much wrote the whole book in that way. So talking into the phone and then writing it up when I got home that night. So this book is called Deep Down, and it's the 4th in the Crush series. And it was about male domestic abuse, which is a topic that's really dear to my heart because it's not brought up enough, in my opinion. And although I love the story, it was really hard to write. In the end, it took me 3 months to write it before the story was done. There was a lot of emotions involved. There was a lot of energy that I focused on trying to make sure that it was realistic, because obviously I didn't want to come across as flippant or dismissive or anything like that. But 3 months it took me to write, and that's a lot compared to the 6 weeks it took me for the first 2. This time I also had an editor, which was handy. Definitely handy. It was it needed it. The books needed them. And I think it worked out much better. I think that was the start of when I feel that I started being better as a writer. And I think everything's just gone from there. So that kind of is how my life was at that point. I was working full time. I was writing in the evenings when the kids were in bed. I was writing as much as possible when they were off school and everything like that. And then when everything happened in 2020, I actually lost my job. And because we were in lockdown, it wasn't easy to find another one. And I struggled to find one. I didn't find one. I just couldn't get one at all. Because I also had two kids to homeschool. So for me, it was kind of a catch-22. And so after some discussions with my dad, I decided to try and write full time, because I thought, I've got nothing to lose. I can't find a job to help me at the minute. I might as well give this my best shot and see what I can do. So I lost my job in May of 2020. And so I spent May, June, July and August writing full time and doing everything possible that I could, as well as homeschooling 2 children. And it was the best decision I'd ever made. if I hadn't lost my job at that point, I don't know if or when I would have started writing full time. I probably still wouldn't be writing full time now. So although at the time it was a bad thing, it worked out well for me. And everything spiraled since then. I've now got 25 books out, and 4 translations done. And in 2022, I'm hoping to put out several more, do several more translations, and I'm even looking into possibly audiobooks as well, but that's a bit up in the air. So yeah, that is my journey, and it may be similar to a lot of others, it may be different to a lot of others, and I absolutely love it. If anyone has ever thought about writing or anything like that, just give it a go. It's not, you don't have to do anything with it if you don't want to. And there are a lot of people around that are really, really supportive. So yeah, so I don't want to get these videos too long-winded. So I'm kind of gonna leave it there a little bit. Go and have a look at my books. I'll leave the links below, and there'll also be links to my website and my social media and that kind of thing. So see if there's any books there you like. If not, no worries. No problems with that. If there is, let me know, because I love hearing from readers. I love hearing from aspiring authors. Just drop a comment and let me know you're around. So my plan for this channel is to release a new video every Monday. As I mentioned earlier, the content's going to vary. Sometimes it'll be about writing, sometimes about routines, sometimes about day in the life of, things like that. Reviews for favourite books, stuff like that. If you've got any recommendations that you want, just drop them below and I will do what I can. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to my journey. Be sure to subscribe and check the notification bell so that you get told when the new videos come up. But like I said, hopefully they'll be every Monday if everything goes to plan. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful 2022 and I will see you in the next video. See you later.